Be ready. Start. Section 4 of the 1953 Act is identical to Section 4 of the Land Acquisition Act 1894. It provides that whenever the state government considers it necessary or expedient to acquire land in any locality needed or likely to be needed for a public purpose, it shall, by an order published in accordance with the provisions of subsection 4 of section 45, require any officer subordinate to it and generally or specially authorized in this behalf to enter upon or into any land in such locality accompanied by his servants and workmen for the purpose stated therein. Subsection 5 of section 4 empowers the collector to issue notice to the persons interested of the proposed acquisition and also issue a public notice to that effect at convenient places on or near about the land proposed to be acquired. Section 5A enables the person interested in any land in respect of which notice has been issued under Section 4, subclause 5 to object to acquisition of that land. Section 6 is also similar to Section 6 of the 1894 Act. Inter alia, it provides that when the state government is satisfied after considering the report, if any, made under Section 5A, that any particular land is needed for a public purpose, a declaration shall be made to that effect. Such declaration is conclusive evidence that the land is needed for a public purpose, and after making such declaration, the state government may acquire the land in the manner provided in subsection 4 thereof. As noticed above, section C came to be amended by the 1981 Amendment Act, and inter alia, limitation of 3 years for issuance of notification under section 6 was fixed from the date of issuance of notice under section 4 subclause 5. As regards the notice issued under section 4 subclause 5 prior to the 1981 Amendment Act, limitation of 2 years from coming into force of the 1981 Amendment Act was fixed. The statutory provisions of compulsory acquisition contained in the 1953 Act are not materially different from the 1894 Act. This court has explained the doctrine of eminent domain in series of cases. Eminent domain is the right or power of a sovereign state to appropriate the private property within the territorial sovereignty to public uses or purposes. It is an attribute of sovereignty and essential to the sovereign government. The power of eminent domain, being inherent in the government, is exercisable in the public interest, general welfare, and for public purpose. The sovereign is entitled to reassert its dominion over any portion of the soil of the state, including private property, without its owner's consent, provided that such assertion is on account of public exigency and for public good. Article 300A of the Constitution mandates that no person shall be deprived of his property save by authority of law. Though right to property is no longer a fundamental right, but the constitutional protection continues inasmuch as without the authority of law, a person cannot be deprived of his property. Accordingly, if the state intends to appropriate the private property without the owner's consent by acting under the statutory provisions for compulsory acquisition, the procedure authorized by law has to be mandatorily and compulsorily followed. The power of urgency, which takes away the right to file objections, can only be exercised by the state government for such public purpose of real urgency which cannot brook delay of few weeks or few months. This court, as early as in 1964, said that the right to file objections under Section 5A is a substantial right when a person's property is being threatened with acquisition. Such right cannot be taken away as if by a side wind. Section 5A embodies a very just and wholesome principle that a person whose property is being or is intended to be acquired should have a proper and reasonable opportunity of persuading the authorities concerned that acquisition of the property belonging to that person should not be made. We may refer to the observation of this court in Nandeshwar Prasad versus the State of UP AIR 1964 SC 1217 that the right to file objections under Section 5A is a substantial right when a person's property is being threatened with acquisition, and that right cannot be taken away as if by a side wind. Subsection 2 of Section 5A makes it obligatory on the collector to give an objector an opportunity of being heard. After hearing all objections and making further inquiry, he is to make a report to the appropriate government containing his recommendation on the objections. The decision of the appropriate government on the objections is then final. The declaration under Section 6 has to be made after the appropriate government is satisfied on a consideration of the report, if any, made by the collector under Section 5A. 2. The legislature has therefore made complete provisions for the persons interested to file objections against the proposed acquisition and for the disposal of their objections. It is only in cases of urgency that special powers have been conferred on the appropriate government to dispense with the provisions of Section 5A. Thank you.